You just responded this morning, sir, tweeted originally and then with follow-up statements as a major breakthrough of this plan on the part of Republican Congressman Paul Ryan working with Democratic Senator Ron-Wyden to find a sort of an updated way to keep Medicare solvent. And this would involve a choice that those who like the program as it is can stick with it. There will be a private option, et cetera. But earlier on, this might have confused Congressman Ryan and others for whom you had said with his initial Medicare fix that it was right-wing social engineering. Later on, you backed off that comment, said that there was much you could find in Mr. Ryan's plan to like. Can you blame Governor Romney for saying you have a consistency problem on this issue?
I'm not in the business of blaming Governor Romney. I'm in the business of trying to understand what we can do as a policy. If you go back and look at the Meet the Press quote, it didn't reference him, and I'll come back and say it again. A free society should make very big decisions with the support of the people. Now, you can earn that support. You can win a communications argument. Reagan was very, very good at that. But the only point I was making on Meet the Press is when you're going to have a major change, you have to communicate with the American people in order to ensure that they are for you. Now, Governor Romney came up, frankly, with a very good variation on the Ryan plan, which allowed the maintenance of the current system. Paul has adopted that, and I think it's a very brave act by Senator Ron-Wyden. You now have a Democrat willing to co-sponsor the bill. I've endorsed the concept today. I think it is a big step forward, and I think Governor Romney deserves some of the credit for having helped figure out a way to make this thing workable. So I think it's a nice thing to actually have a bipartisan plan in Washington that we could actually look at in a positive way and hope would help save Medicare.
Governor Romney, do you want to respond to that compliment?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I hope people understand just how big today is for this country. We all understand that the spending crisis is extraordinary, with $15 trillion now in debt, with a president that's racked up as much debt as almost all the other presidents combined. But there's another problem we have, which is our national balance sheet, which are these obligations that we've made that we have no funding behind, and it adds up to $62 trillion. And today, Republicans and Democrats came together with Senator Wyden and Congressman Paul Ryan to say we have a solution to remove that $62 trillion. This is a big day for our kids and our grandkids. It's an enormous achievement. It means we finally have the prospect of dealing with something which has the potential of crushing our future generations, and a good Democrat and a good Republican came together. This is the impact of people on both sides of the aisle that care about America in a critical time, and I applaud it. It's good news.
And one of the concerns that I had is that when Speaker Gingrich was Speaker of the House, he had an opportunity to defund Planned Parenthood, and he chose not to take it. That's a big issue. And also, I think even more troubling, when he was in Washington, D.C., he made an affirmative statement that he would not only support, but he would campaign for Republicans who are in support of the barbaric procedure known as partial birth abortion. I could never do that. And as a matter of fact, George Will asked the question of Speaker Gingrich. He said this. He said, is it a virtue to tolerate infanticide? This is a seminal issue. It's something that we can't get wrong. And as President of the United States, I will be 100% pro-life from conception until natural death.
Speaker Gingrich.
Sometimes Congresswoman Bachmann doesn't get her facts very accurate. I had a 98.5% right to life voting record in 20 years. The only
Go ahead.
The only difference was that they didn't like the initial welfare reform bill, which every other conservative group had said had nothing in it on abortion, period. That's the only one in 20 years. I believe that life begins at conception. The conversation we were having, which was an ABC interview, I was frankly thinking about proposing a commission to look at fertility clinics, because I think there is a challenge with what happens to embryos who I think should be regarded as life because by definition they've been conceived. I am against any kind of experimentation on embryos, and I think my position on life actually has been very clear and very consistent.
Let me just ask you, I want to ask you a direct question, if I may, Speaker. Now, that was your rebuttal to Congresswoman Bachmann.
But can I rebuttal, have a rebuttal for getting my facts wrong?
Absolutely, Congresswoman.
because this isn't just once. I think it's outrageous to continue to say over and over through the debates that I don't have my facts right, when as a matter of fact, I do. I'm a serious candidate for President of the United States, and my facts are accurate. Speaker Gingrich said that he would actively support and campaign for Republicans who got behind the barbaric practice of partial birth abortion. This is not a small issue. This is a big issue.